Is there more? Is there more? Jesus was on his way, and of course he healed whomever. It doesn't matter to him if they're from the country, outside the country. He'll feed them. He'll sit to dinner with them. He'll do whatever. It doesn't matter to Jesus who you are. It surprises him that all these faithful Jews forget the simple things, and this outsider who, says thank you. And I wonder too, that Jesus did all this healing, and yet, was there more that was going on than that? Then their skin became clean and clear. Of course, when they go back to the priest will say, okay, now you're welcome back into this society, you're welcome back into your family, you're welcome back into worship and all these kinds of things. So then you're clean in different ways too, not physically, but also socially too. Now, Jesus was looking at something different, and I think sometimes you wonder if Jesus kind of makes us think somehow. Or a good teacher will leave something out so that it makes you think and struggle, and you come up with it on your own, an answer on your own. I wonder if this is one of those cases, or maybe not. But anyway, what happens, I think it might have surprised him too, was someone came back and said, thank you. And what does that do for that person who said thank you? I was looking up what that does for our brains. When you say thank you, or when you say I forgive you, there's a chemical process that goes on that makes you feel good, that helps lift depression, helps us sleep. Forgiveness or gratitude. Oprah had the gratitude journals that you write down every day what you're grateful for, and you write 10 things down. You keep it every day, and it makes you think about, wow, there are good things that goes on in my life, and I sometimes miss that unless I purposely put it down in words and think about it. So that, in a way, has a healing effect as well. Jesus healed by word in this case, and kind of left it up to the individual persons to continue the journey of healing. And we do that too. We have our own journeys of healing and forgiving and that kind of thing. That you might be part of a family where there might be a rift for some reason that lasts for years and years. A misspoken word that was misconstrued, and all of a sudden there's walls built up here and then bigger walls up here, and pretty soon the people aren't talking to each other. And you're on the inside, you're looking at both, and you're saying, why can't we just come together and talk? And maybe there is some forgiveness there. Jesus talked about forgiving 70 times 7 because it's a tough process. Take it to heart. You can say it, but sometimes it takes a long time to feel it in your heart. There's that book that I had for the confirmation students called Touching Spirit. Bear two 15-year-old boys. One was a bully. He had a lot of problems at home, and he was taking his frustrations out on this poor boy, and he hits him, and he causes some serious brain injury, and the boy is very angry with Cole. I'll call him Cole. Peter was hurt. Cole was the aggressor. And for part of Cole's process, they said, you can go to jail in juvie for a long time, or you can go for this Native American Justice Circle and go up to this Alaskan island for a year and be by yourself for a year. Well, of course, he says, I'll go to the island for a year. And he's got 2 parole officers that take him in the canoe to this island and check in on him once in a while. Now, this is easy. It doesn't turn out to be so easy for Cole. Later on in the story, it comes to the point where Peter gets escorted to the island as well. Now you've got the 2 boys. After about a year or so, together on this island with, of course, a parole officer. But there's some things that goes on. There's more. Peter's almost healed of his physical. He still has a little bit of brain damage, but physically he's almost all healed. And yet, there needs to be more in this relationship for these 2 boys. So they both meet on the island, and of course, Peter is not going to forgive easily. And there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of darts thrown at Cole, and Cole understands, and he just doesn't know why Peter just doesn't forgive him right away. But it's not that easy. And so as the story goes on, they finally get to a point where they start to talk, and they start to care for each other, and it's just a long process. But the forgiving helps. It helps not only Peter, but it helps Cole as well, so you've got reconciliation. And in the justice system, that seems to be something they're trying now. For better healing than just slamming someone away in the prison system and leaving them there, and leaving open wounds on both the victim and the perpetrator's part. There's got to be healing more than that. And I think Jesus knows this, and is part of this process of having us be, well, if you want to call it, co-creators of our lives here. Maybe not snapping our fingers and having rocks appear, or the mustard seeds faith throwing mulberry bushes into the ocean, but something that we can do with each other to enrich our relationships. And Jesus gave us the tools. It's just a matter of courage to do it, or the insight or the wisdom to know when to do it and when not to. But these things that creep in on us, that needs to be talked about, that need to be addressed, this healing that continues in our lives, Jesus wants us to be grateful for not only His work, but also for each other. How that can heal and bridge relationships. How forgiving can help. Yeah, you wonder. This election that's coming up, there's a lot of barbs going out. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of things said, hurtful things being said. And you wonder, when this is all said and done, will there be any reconciliation for Hillary and Donald or the others that are running for office? That all these things are said and sometimes cruel? Is there a way of reconciling this so that we can kind of see as a country that there is hope, that we want to heal as people, that we can see our leaders take the process of healing and be able to come together, and we hope for that happens. If it doesn't, then we can say, well, at least we can do our part in our own lives to make this happen. But we wish it to happen to others as well. We wish it to happen to the greater society. We hope it happens for those who are pushed to the side, those who are enslaved in some way or another, or oppressed, or not given a voice. We hope that we can build bridges somehow to make it happen. And so that's our challenge as Jesus is God's people, is to continue the journey of healing, to say thank you, to say I forgive you, to walk in vulnerability sometimes when it's necessary, to be able to touch another person in another way, and to be able to see what that does. This leper who was healed sees that he was healed, and he sees how this was happening, how this Jesus was God. He sees that his life is changed now. He sees that he doesn't want to go back to his ordinary life that he had, but something different, something maybe greater, something that is more fulfilling now that he has this feeling of Christ in his heart after he's been healed of his leprosy, after he makes the connection and comes full circle. And we hope the other 9 would at some point in their lives, would have seen the light too and changed as well. And it's our hope for us too, that we can be part of this cycle of healing, this cycle of enriching people's lives, of healing the world as best we can. God give us strength for that. Amen.